stop at the post office because I have a bunch of things to drop off for eBay. And then while we're out and about, I thought it would be fun to do kind of my old thrifting route. So that is, well, usually I go to Aldi's. Do I need to go to Aldi's? I don't think I'm going to Aldi's today, but I think I will go to Salvation Army and then Savers. And who knows, maybe even Stu Leonard's and Starbucks, although the last two are not thrifting related. They're fortification for future thrifting. Let's think of it that way. Time to hit the road. Let's see what we have here. I have sold this cup before, Lenox China Stone. It's very pretty. I don't see saucers that match it though. And these are very pretty Lenox saucers with no cups that match it. This is Lenox Charleston. I've had difficulty selling this pattern in the past for some reason. This could make a really sweet dog bowl. There's no manufacturer mark on the bottom. And there's some like paint splatters, but yeah, they scratch off pretty easily. Getting a good look at these shelves, and I can see this stack of plates. I used to have one of these plates on a plate stand as part of my decor. It's funny to see it. It's from Pier 1, I think. And these are lovely saucers. They are Churchill, made in Staffordshire, England. But I don't think these cups match it, although they were also made in England. Look at them together and tell me what you think. Not a match. Do you agree? This is a lovely little sauce boat. It's Crooksville, made in the USA. I always enjoy seeing Crooksville when I'm out and about. This little trinket box is definitely a sad friend. It's sad in multiple ways, in fact. I always enjoy seeing these plates when I'm out and about. I think they're very pretty, but I've had them twice before and they do not sell for me. If I were to pick one of them up, which I'm not going to, it would be this one because I love that characteristic squared off shape. It's so typical of Depression glass. I think it's so pretty. These are lovely, and at first I thought they were Johnson Brothers castles, but they are not. They're Enoch wood castles, and you can tell that the details on them are not as crisp as you see with the Johnson Brothers. It's a sweet little plate, and it's made in Italy, but I can see some chips around the rim. Let's see what we have here. It looks like this is just sort of a mismatch of different cups and saucers that don't go together. And here's just a general look at the aisle I'm walking down right now. This would have been like a little snack plate or dessert plate. You would put your cup in the base. The cup is gone. Then you would put your dessert or snacks or whatever on the fan part. These can make a fabulous little trinket tray though, like for jewelry or for makeup. Here's a pewter candlestick, and I like that there's two of them, $1.99. These are weighted and made by Leonard. Let's get a better look at these. Okay, unfortunately, they're like squished on the bottom. You can see how the base is sort of coming away. That's too bad. I like this plate. It has such a pretty rim. I like the Greek keys in gold. I am not familiar with this manufacturer. This plate was made in Germany. I think it's very pretty. This cup looks like Limoges, but it's tricking me because it was actually made in Austria. I find there are a lot of Austrian pieces that very closely resemble Limoges. They're beautiful regardless of where they were made. And this is a false graph pie plate in the very famous cornflower blue pattern, but there is so much crazing on this. It's a quiche plate, too bad. There's some other little pieces that go with it. And I see some more blue and white on the shelves. This is looking like Currier and Ives, but there's no back stamp. There might be a back stamp on some of the bigger pieces though, so let's just dig through this pile. Nope, let's see if the dinner plate will give us some info. Yes, this is Currier and Ives Royal Ironstone China, $2.99. Such a pretty pattern. I would be tempted by this if there were more dinner plates. I only see the two and then some other smaller pieces that go with it. So I do really think it's nice, but I'm going to leave it here. This is kind of interesting. It's like a little vanity set in wicker. That might be a good find for my booth space. Looking for a price, $4.99. I think this might go in the cart. I'm checking out this clear glass bowl. It was made in France. It's Arcaroc. This has some potential. I was thinking it might be helpful to find a couple of clear glass bowls today. This one I think is a contender. What I usually do in these cases is put things in the cart to think about it, and then at the end, when I'm finished shopping, I start to really rule things out. This way I can be sure nobody snags a thing I was thinking about before I've made up my mind. This wall art is very cute. The kitty reminds me a little bit of Indy. He looks even more like my former cat, Archie. Really, really cute, but it's awfully big and it would take up a lot of room in my booth, and it's definitely too big to ship. I also don't love the frame on this, and it's $10.99. Here's another pretty clear bowl option. I like how this one has feet. It's so heavy. It has some pretty subtle details. This one is nice as well. Just sort of feeling it. I like the little handles. They're pretty, but I think I like the footed bowl better. Here's a little bit of carnival glass. I like this color very much. $2.99, but these are on sale, so definitely an option. This is so odd. I do not know what to make of this. At first I thought it was a martini glass, but it definitely is not. Want to make sure I look all through the shelves. What do we have here? Ooh, this bowl is very pretty. $3.99. And I'll just put this plate down here. Let's get a better look. It's very dirty, but the condition looks pretty good. This is another contender, I think. This is a cute tray, but unfortunately it's broken in two places. So I'm gonna leave it here. And this is a little stainless steel tray, but I don't think I'm gonna pick that up. And there's another one here. I have one similar to that belonged to my mother, actually. I'm checking out this mirror. It has potential, but I don't know about the paint situation around the edge. It's got kind of a pretty pattern. I don't know, maybe it's meant to look distressed, but I think it might be too distressed for me. There's some other artwork on the shelves. I'm just perusing to see if anything really jumps out at me. Nothing so far. There's some artwork hanging up on the walls. The artwork here tends to be a little bit on the high-priced side. The mirror's kind of cute. Just checking it out, $4.99. And patent pending on the hardware. I'm not sure. I don't know that I absolutely love the color of the frame. I could definitely use a new iron, but I don't know that I want to pick one up here. I sometimes wonder if there isn't a reason why somebody donated something, like maybe it wasn't working correctly. And something like an iron, I don't know. I think I'd rather go new in this case. Okay, we're making our way back to the car, and then we'll figure out what's next. Well, I wouldn't say I was lighting the world on fire in there, but I did find a couple of interesting things. Everything was 50% off, so I got quite a few items and I paid a total of $14, I believe. So that wasn't bad. And now I have to go to FedEx, and then we're gonna hit Savers. Let's go. I just finished my errands, so let's head over to Savers and see what they have today. Ooh, looks like it's gonna pour. This is so cute. It's like a child's Black & Decker workbench with little tools. $9.99. Very cute. This is the section with lots and lots of smalls. This little stuffed goose is kind of cute. $6.99 is more than I want to pay for it, but I like it. It's definitely got a country vibe. This mirror is kind of interesting for $7.99, but it's got this crack on the bottom. So I think no, it would have been an interesting find if not for that. Here's another mirror. It looks like it's in good shape. It has some pretty details, but I don't know that I like this very yellowy gold frame. This is really large-scale artwork and could have some potential, but it's $29.99, and that's more than I'm gonna pay for resale purposes. It's pretty though. I'm checking out this mirror that I really like. It has a lot of heft and weight to it, like it's on the older side, but there's so much like damage along the paint and like areas of separation from one piece of wood to another, and that funny little hole that you see. So I like this, but for $12.99, I think it's a no. My mother had this piece in the hallway of our house for the longest time. It's so nice to see it here. Oh my gosh, it's really sweet. It's $7.99, so I'm not gonna pick it up for resale, but it was a fun thing to see today. I really like this. I think this has a really interesting look. It looks like a painting, but it's not. It is $5.99. I love the frame, so this is potentially a buy. I so wish this were in better shape because I have a dear friend who went to Mount Holyoke for college and she would get a kick out of this, but there's so much foxing on it that I think it's gonna have to stay here. Too bad, so close. Here's another item that is an almost good enough, but not quite. I love Beatrix Potter things, but I don't love this frame, and there's a lot of buckling in the print, and even like a stain here and there. I think, I can't read that date quite, 1999, 1989. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna leave it here, unfortunately. It's so cute. This is interesting. I've been looking for something like this for a project. I love to see haul pottery when I'm out and about. This is $8.99. There's the back stamp. Something about haul just gets me every time. There's a lot of discoloration and wear. So I think as much as I like it, I'm gonna leave this guy behind. There's lots of glassware here, but what do we have on the bottom shelf? This is definitely interesting and a possible pickup. I see little planters like these at Home Goods and TJ Maxx, and I always think they are so cute. This could be a good utensil holder. No back stamp on it. What do we have up here? Ooh, I see some potential Delft. Yep, this is Delft. Very pretty. $7.49 is more than I'm gonna pay, but I like it. This is a lovely Laura Ashley frame. $7.99 is kind of high, and there's a little ding in the corner of this piece. It's very pretty, but I think I'm gonna leave it. This is so cute. It looks like toll work, but I don't think it really is. Oh, it's from Home Goods originally, so not old. I think that crackle finish is a little too intense for me, and the damage at the corners tells me to leave it behind. This is an interesting little serving piece. $3.99. Nothing is jumping out at me here. And the prices in this section tend to be on the high side anyway, so it's just as well that I don't get my heart set on anything. I have a picture very much like this at home. It's really pretty. $6.99. And there's two of them. This is a lovely platter. I'm not going to pay $9.99 for it, but it's just fun to see it. This is Johnson Brothers Fruit Sampler. I've sold things in this pattern before. I think it's very charming. All right, we finished up at Savers. It's time to head home, and you know the drill. When we get home, I will show you my finds. There is a lot of Bud Light being delivered right now. Let's see if we can beat the rain. I was pleasantly surprised by how much I found at Savers and Salvation Army. I didn't have a lot of expectations because a lot of times prices are prohibitively high, or when I find things, they're broken. It's just sometimes hard to come home with a good haul from those places. You know, it's hit or miss. Sometimes I buy lots of stuff. Sometimes I come home and I feel a little bit like maybe I wasted my time, but not this time. So I started at Salvation Army, and pickings can be very slim there. They don't always have a lot of inventory. And a lot of times all of the things I want are not the discounted colors of the day. But on this day, everything except white tags were discounted, which was awesome. So I got lots of bargains. And where should I start? I guess I'll start with these beautiful carnival glass goblets, which I thought were really, really pretty. I love the color. I run into the marigold color a lot. That was the most produced and popular color of carnival glass. But this has such a nice kind of blue effect, and it's got fruits on it, little like grapes, grape clusters. So I got 4 of them. They were $2.99, but then half off. So I thought they were a really pretty find, and I will be selling those either at my booth space, Equality Consignment in Colchester, Connecticut, or on my eBay store, one or the other. This next thing was kind of weird, and I went back and forth with it, but sometimes when I see things I haven't seen before, I feel compelled to pick them up. And it's these little, I don't know, are they like little mini cloches? So interesting. When I first saw them, I thought they were just like maybe martini glasses, but then I saw there was no stem. So I am not sure what these would be used for, but I just thought they were interesting. They were $1.99 and then half off that. So I bought 3 of them. Here are 2 of them. And I'm gonna have to think about some interesting uses for these. If you have any suggestions, I would love to hear them. I also bought 2 clear bowls, and I plan to keep at least 1 of them because I have picked up a little bit of china here and there. I picked up some Villeroy and Boch, which I love, and I bought some Liberty Blue, which I also love, but I don't plan to buy a ton of serving pieces to go with them. For the Villeroy and Boch, I would love to get maybe a platter or a serving bowl. The Liberty Blue, I'm not gonna do anything more with. I pretty much plan to use it primarily for the summer. So glass bowls can be a great way to round out a china set if you don't have a lot of pieces, because of course it matches everything. So I bought this bowl. This is pressed glass, I believe, but I love the legs on this. I guess you would say they're feet. I just loved them. I thought it gave it a really interesting look. This is quite dirty, but I think when it's washed, it will be beautiful, and it would really actually go with absolutely any china set that I had that I wanted to use. And sometimes I think it can be really pretty to break up china with a little bit of glass or crystal or silver plate or brass. Something to bring in a different element can just kind of make your table extra special, I think. So I do intend to keep this bowl. But I also picked up this bowl, which I also think is beautiful. I'm pretty sure this one is crystal, and it's got like a metal lid to it. And again, when this is washed, I think it will absolutely shine. So another really useful piece to stretch out some of my porcelain sets. I don't see the tag on this, but I did not pay much for, oh, here it is, $3.99, so I paid $2. And the other bowl I showed you was also $3.99, so $2. Again, you can hardly go wrong with that price. So even if I don't end up using them, I could always sell them, but I think that I really will, because the last time I used a set that wasn't, really super rounded out and complete, I found myself wishing that I had more pieces for serving purposes. And like I said, glass and crystal, silver and silver plate, brass, great choices. I think that was it for Salvation Army. It's hard now for me to remember what came from Salvation Army and what came from Savers, but I think that was the Salvation Army haul. So let's move into the Savers stuff that I picked up. So I picked up randomly this little, it looks like it's like a little bit of wall art. It has kind of a painting quality, but it's in plastic. So what I plan to do is bring this to my booth space and remove the plastic, because I think this could be really sweet in somebody's gallery wall, but I'll wait until I get to my booth to do that. This was made by Greenbrier International Company. I don't know, I think it's kind of cute. I think it might look nice when I hang it up with all of the rest of the artwork in my booth. I really like this. I found this cookie jar. My goodness, it's a little bit heavy. I found this cookie jar with the strawberries and the green lid, and I thought this would look so nice in my booth for the summertime. It is McCoy, which is so awesome. And I think this will look lovely. I really was excited to find this. I paid $7.99 for it, but I think it will be a fun item. And again, just give nice summer vibes to my booth space. I also found this I really like so much. This is a little reproduction painting. This was called Still Life Apples by Robert Chalot. I don't know, French artist. I might be saying his name wrong. I loved the green frame on this. I thought it had such a cool vintage look. So this is like, it's meant to look like a painting, but this is just board. And I think it's really neat. Here is the back. I paid $5.99 for this. And again, I think it's so, so sweet. Here is the wall art that I picked up, and I think it looks really nice in the bay window. The more I look at this, the more I'm admiring the pretty little details in the corner, because as I've said so many times on this channel, it's often the small details that make the big impact. Okay, I just found something else from Salvation Army. I'm not surprised. I had a feeling I wasn't done. I bought this really pretty wicker vanity set that I thought was so sweet. And again, just gave me a feeling of summertime. So here's the inside. The back is nothing special, but I thought that was just so sweet. I had to have it. And again, I think it will look great in my booth. So I was happy to pick this up. You could put, of course, your makeup and brushes and things in here if you wanted, or I guess you could even put some faux plants down in here and have a totally different look. You could do a lot of fun things with something like this, I think. I just put this pretty little vanity set on my own vanity table in the dressing room. Don't mind the mess. I just wanted to show you how cute this is. And to give it a little bit of an old-fashioned look, I put this old hair receiver in there. A little silver lint brush that's so pretty. And this old-fashioned little glass container with some Q-tips in it. Would look really pretty with like a lace hanky or something also maybe poking out of the end. That would be so cute. Not sure where mine are. I have like 10,000. I don't know where they are at the moment. Otherwise, I would try that right now. I found a little bit of linen that's embroidered to just put in there to give you some sense of how nice it would look with that little bit of softness and color. I think it would be even better poking out the side, but that definitely gets the job done. I was thinking to myself the other day, I wish I had a really good summer themed tablecloth for my booth space. And the thrifting gods must have heard me, because look at what I found. The lobsters and the oyster shells and the crabs and the fish. Oh my gosh, this guy is so good for the summer. Oh, I love this. And this was made by Laura Ashley. So I have never picked up a Laura Ashley tablecloth before. Oh my gosh, when I was in high school, a Laura Ashley store opened up in New Haven, Connecticut, and it was the most magical place. It was all like hardwood floors and beautiful wallpaper and gorgeous dresses. Everything was a fortune. I remember the dresses always hung on wooden hangers. Smelled amazing. Oh my gosh, it was such a fabulous, fabulous store. Long gone, of course, but I remember it well. And now I have a tablecloth that I can sell from Laura Ashley. Sticking with the linen theme, I found these two really pretty throw pillows. I love the color. I love that they're floral. This is like so cottagecore to me. I thought these were beautiful, so I picked them up. I found another pillow that I really loved as well, but it was a singleton, and I think I'm better off sticking to pairs of pillows for the purposes of resale. I love the colors. Everything about those was really working for me, so I think they were a good find. I just put the two throw pillows here on the little bench. I really don't have these colors too much in my house, so I didn't have a great place to put them to show you, but I think the red in the bench picks up some of the pretty red colors in the pillow. So hopefully that will give you an idea of what they would look like out and about as part of somebody's beautiful home decor. I've been talking about summer a fair little bit so far in this haul, and part of that is because it's like in the high 90s here in Connecticut today. I'm actually hiding in the house because I know the minute I step outside, my hair is gonna go like that. So we don't want that, do we? But I'm gonna shift gears away from the summer and bring you to Halloween because I love this cat. Isn't it so awesome? Oh my gosh, I thought this would be so good for my booth space. I was really excited to find it. I love how its back is all arched like it's freaking out. This was $3.99. The face is like just very plain. There's no like facial features. I just loved the look of this and I thought it would be really fun to use in some way. So I grabbed it. It's not time for Halloween yet, but when the time comes, this cat will be ready. Actually, I'm starting to think maybe he won't go in my booth space. Maybe I'll hang on to this guy, unless of course somebody watching this video is interested. In that case, just send me an email and we can work something out. He's kind of cute, right? This guy, I think this is really awesome. I am pretty sure this is Robinson Ransbottom. I'm not 100% sure. If I'm wrong, I will correct myself in the description box below. And I think this originally had a little lid, but I bought it anyway because I think the blue stripe is so classic and I love the handles. And I thought this would be so fabulous as a utensil holder in somebody's kitchen. It could also be really, really pretty as a vase for real flowers or faux flowers. Ow, Andy, oh my goodness. Little razor claws, he's like a tiny velociraptor. You wanna say hi or you just wanna scratch me? What was that little move? You're lucky you're cute. All right, down you go. Back to the haul. Yeah, I thought this could be really, really pretty for as a vase or as a utensil holder. I would probably use it as a utensil holder myself because I think it's so perfect for a kitchen. So even without the lid, I actually even like it better without the lid because if I had the lid, I would feel compelled to use it in that kind of way. And without the lid, I feel like it allows for more imaginative uses. So this was $5.49, which I thought was not a terrible price. Savers can be so bad with their prices, but I thought that was good. So you can see that this jar is a little bit too tall for holding utensils. If I were gonna keep this, I would put like floral stones or similar on the bottom, and that way they would be the right height sticking up out of this container. I am actually thinking I could probably use another one, but I'm gonna try to sell this first, and I think it would be a really effective vase. So I'm gonna try that next. Here we go. I think it makes a beautiful vase. These are faux flowers. These used to be in an old champagne urn that I've decided to sell at my store because now that I've gotten the silver plated ones, I'm gonna keep those because I like them a little bit better. But anyway, I think this looks lovely and it holds everything really well. There are so many good uses for a piece like this. I think it was just a really good find. Okay, the last two, nope, I have a few things. I was gonna say the last two things I have to show you are for me, but the last four things I have to show you are for me. Let's just get this out of the way because it's not interesting. I bought myself this little black and white striped top because I thought I would get a lot of use out of it. And I bought myself this little V-neck t-shirt. I have a V-neck navy t-shirt that I love, but Indy recently put a hole in it, climbing up the laundry drying rack. He loves to do that. And sometimes when he does that, he punctures things that are drying. It's not my favorite trick. So I need a new one. That should do it fine. Okay, so I'm excited to show you this, and I don't even know if this is gonna work because I'm told that sometimes when you pick these things up, sometimes the spigot doesn't work anymore, and that's why they get donated. So that might be the case here. But if it does work, I would love to put my laundry detergent in this because it would look so much nicer than having like a big old bottle of Tide sitting in the laundry room. This would look so much nicer. I don't know if it will work, like I said. If it doesn't work, I could still store things in it for the laundry room, I suppose. So it could be useful regardless, but I hope it does work. We shall see. The last thing I picked up was this clear jar. which I thought could be handy for storing a lot of things. I am not sure what yet. When I picked it up, I was thinking of the laundry room, but it would also be awesome in the kitchen cabinets to store flour or sugar or coffee pods or a variety of things. So I'm not sure yet. Or Eric's cereal. There's so many possible uses for things like this. So I thought, let's give it a try. It was $5.99. And it will be fun to style it up in my house and see how it works best. I thought I was so clever putting the laundry detergent in this container with the spout. I thought it would work really well, but it definitely doesn't, because when I try to turn on the spout, oops, I might need 2 hands for this. I just turned it on and you can see nothing really comes out. And when I tip it, a little bit comes out, but it's like this tiny little stream, and it takes forever to get enough laundry detergent to actually be able to do my laundry. So good idea that didn't work. But what did work better was this container that has laundry pods in it. So this might be a better solution. I'm not really sure. Either way, it's nice not to see that big old Tide bottle. But I'm gonna keep thinking about this and see if I can't make this any snazzier. I have an antique iron somewhere. I just have to dig it out. That might look nice. And I have this recently thrifted industrial spool in the back. So that's kind of cute. Anyway, anything to make the laundry room a little more interesting always seems like a good idea to me. Oh my gosh, I had to show you what I just walked into. Look at these guys, all taking a little nap together on the bed. This is like cuteness overload to me. And it's amazing that Licorice didn't jump off the bed the minute the cats came onto it, because she is not really one to hang too closely with the cats, even though the cats love her. I just am so impressed with how far that dog has come. And look at Indy, he's so pleased with himself. He's got a nice soft place to sleep. He's with 3 out of his 4 friends. Iris is all curled up. To tell you the truth, this is making me want to take a little nap. Maybe I should just get back to work. I didn't want to leave out Wilson in the mix. He wasn't in the bedroom with everybody else because he really doesn't go up the stairs. But he's hanging out in the kitchen. He's doing just fine down here. There he is. A little Wilson showing is always a good thing, don't you think? You good boy. And there's his friend / nemesis. He really doesn't like it when she gets so close. So I'm gonna move her in a minute, otherwise he's gonna cry and whine until I do. We know the drill. We're headed to Quality Consignment in Colchester, Connecticut, which is where my booth space is. You may have noticed I didn't style some of the things I picked up, and that's because some of them are going directly to my booth. Here is the before shot. It's looking a little bit ransacked in some spots, but that's to be expected. I definitely want to change things up here and have more of a summery / 4th of July kind of feeling happening. I have some ideas, and some of the new things I picked up are going to work out perfectly. It's sometimes hard to maneuver in such a tight space, but I think I'm going to start with the table because a viewer recommended that I change the tablecloth for more of a summery feel, and I thought that was a great suggestion. I brought a tablecloth with me that I think will do the trick. We'll take the old one off. And here is the new one. So this is so pretty, but a little bit too small for my own table. There we go. I think that looks nice. I brought some bunting that has a really old-fashioned look about it, just again to do a little 4th of July kind of theme. Just have to figure out how to best affix this. I grabbed some clothespins and I think I'm just going to secure them around the mirror. That should do the trick. Okay, I think that I got the job done here. I think it has a little bit more of a summery 4th of July feeling, which is what I was trying to accomplish. I've definitely packed a lot into this space. Like this little bag, my only regret in life is that I did not drink more wine. Ernest Hemingway. I have some flags in the basket. These little wooden salt and pepper shakers are new. The Wedgwood trinket box is new. I've already shown you the bunting. And there is the wicker vanity set that I showed you in my video. I think it looks nice here. A little Yankee candle on the left. I thought the pop of red would be a good thing. This candle smells so good. It's never been lit. I have a pretty tin with strawberries and a pile of plates I actually picked up when I was in Pennsylvania because I thought they went with the red, white, and blue theme. And the strawberry canister I showed you earlier in this video, all on the blue and white tablecloth. I think this hand-painted covered picnic basket is really pretty. I bought this last year with the intention of keeping it, but I didn't have a great spot for it in my house. There's some bowls, and of course you have to have a toll tray. That is the rule, right? That's a pretty one. This little pitcher is added. I've got a nice stack of gardening books. Here is the beach themed tablecloth that I showed you earlier, and I've had this little footed carnival glass bowl for a little bit. Up here we have a Libby pitcher in a very summery theme. This would be perfect for serving lemonade or iced tea. And a little succulent planter that is handmade. And there's the signature. I think it's very pretty. And I also brought in this little toll bucket for organizing mail or whatever. I have some vintage aprons here. I think they have a great look. I love the polka dots on this. And this pretty blue one above it. I think it's nice to add in some textiles here and there. And I don't want to spin, so I'm taking my time. I added this apron on the other side with the pretty pansies. So lots of colors happening. Here is a whole little area full of tablecloths, in fact, and some throw pillows. I've really tried to have a pretty big assortment of items for sale in this booth. And I'm hoping somebody who stops by feels compelled to take their time and go through it. These pictures haven't changed. And here's just one last look at the shelves. So I'm happy with how it came out. I think this is pretty consistent with the vision I had in my head. So that's what I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video. We had a little bit of this and a little bit of that, the usual. If you did enjoy it, I hope you'll consider hitting like and subscribing if you haven't already. If you think you might know somebody who would enjoy this video, I would love it if you would share it with a friend. But most of all, I hope you have a fabulous day. And I also hope to see you next time. Bye for now.